Hello, you wonderful people. Welcome to another episode of Nerd Mode, this being a show where I introduce you to a series that you may or may not be familiar with. For today's episode, I'm going to talk about the sci-fi original series, 12 Monkeys. Like always, this isn't a review, it's just me talking about a series that I really like and I recommend you check out for yourself. 12 Monkeys is an action sci-fi drama where in the year 2043, most of humanity has been wiped out by a virus, and those who have survived live in a land where it is basically survival of the fittest. A group of scientists and soldiers protect the only means of fixing all of this, a time machine. They send one lone scavenger, Cole, back in time to change everything. With the aid of a doctor named Cassandra, mostly just referred to as Cassie, they work together to ensure that the future Cole comes from never comes to be. But can they change time for the better, or does time have plans of its own? First thing I want to do is introduce you to the main antagonist of the series, which is a group known as the Army of the 12 Monkeys. I say group, but it's more like kind of like a cult. Basically, they want to make sure that the virus still happens. The virus itself is just the beginning. It's part of a much larger plan that they have in mind. They have their reasons, their crazy reasons, but they still have purpose in what they do. What is that exact purpose? Well, you have to watch the show and find out for yourself. A strong aspect to the show is the dynamic between Cole and Cassie. They are from different times. Because of the situation that Cole lived in, you can make the argument different worlds. Cole lives in a world where you have to kill and do whatever it takes to survive. And then you take Cassie, who's the complete opposite, and over the course of this series, you start to see them kind of shift, where Cole becomes like Cassie and Cassie becomes like Cole. But that dynamic slash aspect doesn't just stop with them. It's kind of a big theme in the show. Are you willing to do anything if it means saving the future? The struggle between what's right and what's wrong, what's for the betterment of the future, as well as what's just better for them, the individual. That very dilemma pops up quite often throughout the show for different characters at different points in the show. Next, I feel like we should talk about one of the characters of the show, easily one of my favorite characters, and that is Jennifer. She is a bit crazy, and not in a, oh, she's crazy type of way. It's like, no, she's legitimately crazy. Then again, when you look at everything that she's been through, you'd be a little crazy too. What I like about Jennifer the most, besides her being kind of odd and quirky, it's also just what the series does to her as it progresses on. It reveals that there is something special about her, and this very thing is actually a big part of the story. In fact, she's a very crucial part of the story, even more so as the series progresses through. Interestingly enough, this special thing about her is actually kind of the reason why she's a bit crazy in the first place. The series has this almost mystery element to it, unraveling everything connected to the Army of the 12 Monkeys, figuring out how all the pieces to this large time puzzle fit together. Like what dominoes fell when and where that led to the world becoming the way that it is in the future. Earlier I mentioned time almost having a plan of its own. Well, that's me referencing the fact is that the show kind of has this basically destiny slash fate aspect to it. That struggle to say no matter what happens, we're going to do whatever we can to change time, no matter how much time wants to fight us back for breaking the laws of nature. The time travel aspect of this show is so good. They do a really amazing job at really utilizing that and kind of using time travel in very interesting ways. Like for example, you see things one way and then later on you realize like, oh, secretly a time travel thing was happening over here, so really this is what was happening while you were seeing this. All these crossing and intersecting lines are drawn not just between story events but also the characters themselves, showing that time is not just a straight line, that there are many twists and turns to it. Interestingly enough, 12 Monkeys is actually based on a movie of the same name that came out back in the 90s. The fourth and final season of 12 Monkeys premieres on June 15th. But really, that's all I want to talk about in this video. Till the next time we meet, be happy, be safe, live life to the fullest, and enjoy it. Good day and goodbye.